IAXIS Radio, the future of radio and podcast. No limit to what we do.
IAXIS Radio, WIAX, the future of radio and podcast. No limit to what we do.
Hello, everybody, and welcome, and thank you all for tuning in. This is the Lola Shae Show right here on IAXISRADIO.com, streaming on all your streaming platforms. We're here every Monday at 7:30, talking about wonderful things, getting some much needed therapy, and of course, watching the latest upcoming music videos. I don't know, this show, this week, first of all, thank you guys for your patience in working it out with us. I know I've been missing a couple of weekends, and, you guys have missed me, and I've missed you too. Good evening to you, Vonnie Jones. I want to say thank you very much to my regulars who always tune in, even when I'm not tuning in. I'd like to say thank you to you guys. Just really happy to be here once again. I don't know, this week's show we'll be discussing the new congestion pricing, Clarissa A. Shields' new movie, and the overshadowing of, the way your personal life can overshadow your professional life sometimes. We'll probably get into it being an end of an era down at the MTA. And a lot more topics. But first, I'd like to take this time to go into our very first video break. And we'll be back in a minute.
Midnight, I can't sleep, something's on my mind. Got it and I don't wanna lose it. No. Am I up or am I dreaming? I can't tell if I'm sleeping. I don't wanna disappear nowhere except for in my music, yeah. It's my night in the studio. It's my night in the studio. I'm all alone, but I don't care 'cause I ain't going home. It's my night in the studio. It's my night in the studio. I'm all alone, but I don't care 'cause I ain't going home. Stuck in a trance, and I don't want it to end. Getting lost in the sound is all I'm feels like I'm in my zone. And I don't wanna wake up. I don't wanna wake up. I don't wanna wake up. Please don't wake me up. No. It's my night in the studio. It's my night in the studio. I'm all alone, but I don't care 'cause I ain't going home. It's my night in the studio. It's my night in the studio. I'm all alone, but I don't care 'cause I ain't going home.
Hey yo, Queens get the money, long time no cash. I'm caught up in the hustle where the guns go blast. Queens get the money, long time no cash. I'm caught up in the hustle where the guns go blast. Hey yo, Queens get the money, long time no cash. I'm caught up in the hustle where the guns go blast. A fool retaliated, so I had to think fast. Pulled out my heat first, he pulled out his heat last. Hey yo, Queens get the money, so we tuck the heat. Ain't nothing sweet, and other places think y'all running shit. Then we'll buck your feet. Hot steps, take the right steps. Muscle biceps, strong arm emoji, swinging swords like Shinobi. Can't no rapper hold me out the gate. Can't control me, best beware with your gun. You can't get jacked, sound like Janet. Y'all be wishing on a star, but be taking life for granted. Standing 10 toes down to the ground, my feet is planted. Born in Brooklyn Women's Hospital, but Queens is where I landed. East Elmhurst first, then Flushing. I rushed in, Jamaica never fake the moves outside. We outside, don't get yourself popped in Far Rock. School of hard knocks, that's Corona. We the owner, shit get sticky, get the blicky. Or the burn if it's your turn, and that'll learn ya. But only necessary, cause Queens we never rarely. Hey yo, Queens get the money, long time no cash. I'm caught up in the hustle where the guns go blast. Queens get the money, long time no cash. I'm caught up in the hustle where the guns go blast. Hey yo, Queens get the money, long time no cash. I'm caught up in the hustle where the guns go blast. A fool retaliated, so I had to think fast. Pulled out my heat first, he pulled out his heat last. Queens get the money, slogan is inside of me. The best they gotta be. Rest in peace to that nigga Prodigy. I remember when you and your man shot at me over that robbery. Your chain was only 10 carats, but it was heavy jewelry. Foolery we went through when we was young. We was dumb, but in retrospect I sit back and reflect. It was fun. We would be at each other's house. You drink Henny, I drink rum. It was grimy hanging out in the 90s. Packing guns, memories of smoking weed in the basement of the dance school. Ironically, same block you would visit when they paroled you. You was ahead of your time with your rhyme, I ain't gon' hold you. It's sad that they do paint on your face at the mural. You was loyal to the hood that wasn't loyal back. You wrote that book, niggas was shook cause none of it was cap from Hempstead, but instead you rep Queens, and that's a fact. They should've took some of these lame rappers and sent your ass back. Hey yo, Queens get the money, long time no cash. I'm caught up in the hustle where the guns go blast. Queens get the money, long time no cash. I'm caught up in the hustle where the guns go blast. Hey yo, Queens get the money, long time no cash. I'm caught up in the hustle where the guns go blast. A fool retaliated, so I had to think fast. Pulled out my heat first, he pulled out his heat last.
So in 2025, we're discussing boundaries and folks that lack boundaries and people who don't listen to boundaries, people who need to set some boundaries, and how boundaries can make or break your best life that you're trying to live. So basically, you want, attention, you want love, you want security, you want all of these things. And one major part of that I find is to have a certain amount of boundaries in your life, points where you don't allow people to go past, triggers you don't allow. It's about what you're not going to allow in protecting your peace and sanity. So we have a father who revokes visitation to his grandchildren after grandma overstepped her boundaries. He says he doesn't want to raise his kids like this. She says, I'm your mother, I tell you what to do, and does it anyway. So he says, you know what? You won't see the damn kids then. And now she's having all kinds of fits and heart attacks and strokes, and she's, oh, the world is so horrible. But sometimes, you have to take into consideration that your child is a grown man with his own children, and maybe he didn't agree with the way you raised him. Maybe he felt like, he can do it better. It's best to try to collaborate and communicate with your significant others in when it comes to important matters, rather than just try to bulldoze over them and think because you have a certain level of seniority, or that, especially in the case of parents, they feel that, their rule is law and has been for so long. It's hard for them to step out of that and relinquish the control. The story about the giving the woman the sword and how she doesn't really want to give it up. Same thing pretty much occurs with the parents. They don't really know when or how sometimes to relinquish control and accept that, you are going to be making your own decisions. And sometimes you have to allow people to make their own mistakes. So that's just how it is. So it causes a lot of friction when you don't have boundaries set, because then people just run all over the place, do what they want to do, regardless to who they're hurting or what the outcome might be. So it's always good to have your do's and don'ts and wills and won'ts, and let them know about what your do's and don'ts are. That leads to less conflict and more joy in your life, which is what we're all striving for. So the Clarissa Shield movie topped the box office this week, but all anybody could talk about is her, Remy, and Pat. So they want to label Clarissa a home wrecker, even though we know evidence of Remy stepping out surfaced long before we ever knew about Clarissa Shields. Not to say that she was not involved in the picture prior to, but the idea that Pap somehow is doing Remy wrong, and that it's all anti Remy, I think is a little bit exaggerated. I do like how they managed to keep themselves relevant and talked about. That may actually just be what this is all about. You never know. But Clarissa Shields herself as an individual is an awesome boxer, and I just feel like the work that she put in to get where she is right now should not be overshadowed by petty and spiteful stuff. On the other hand, I don't recommend you ever date a married man under any circumstances. I don't care what he claims his circumstances to be. You wait until the wife is not in the picture anymore. That's no longer a situation before you involve yourself. Ideally, of course, that's what you want to do. Some people feel like, they don't live together. They're separated. They're, they don't sleep in the same room. We're just co-parenting. All the excuses. But ultimately, I feel like if you don't want it done to you, you shouldn't do it to somebody else. And it's just better to start things off on a fresh, clean slate. You don't have to be worried about being called a damn home wrecker. Plus, then and on, like I said, that's on one end of the spectrum. Then you have people on the other end of the spectrum who feel like you're always married to your first partner. Like whoever your first partner is, that's who you're married to, and there's no such thing as divorce according to certain like religious groups and stuff. They feel like that's who you're with, and the till death do us part is a real thing. And they feel like that's all there is to it. So there's no room for a lot of the stuff that's going on today with the side pieces and the separate households, and it's obviously just people trying to figure out how to live life ultimately. But we get to observe the trials and errors and see what the outcomes are. So I'm not going to tell you what to do or what not to do, but you can say what has worked and what has not worked, and interfering in other people's relationships has never worked out for anybody, pretty much. So yeah, there's arguments that Ice has lost her spice, you guys. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that one, but she's appeared to have gone a drastic amount of weight loss. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but she honestly is not looking healthy right now. And I can say the same thing about my Wicked cast. Both Alphaba and Glinda are looking like they are about to disappear at any moment. It's like they done waved the wand and hocus pocus, you about to disappear, child. Eat a burger or something. I don't know what to tell you. Leave the Ozempic alone. All right, it's not meant for you. If you don't have diabetes, you have no business running around taking diabetes medication for your vanity's sake. Okay, if you are not extremely overweight, and yeah, it's my opinion, but I mean what I say. If you are not extremely overweight, hitting that 600-pound life kind of thing, you don't have no business taking that drug, because that drug is going to have serious repercussions on you later. It's going to affect your kidneys, your stomach, your liver, your intestinal lining. We got Oprah going to the hospital because she can't stop diarrheaing herself. Okay, so it's not all that it's cracked up to be, and I really think y'all should not so much look into the fad diets and the newest craze to lose weight when you know how to lose the weight. You just don't want to do that. Ultimately, that's what I find it to be. So, and then in this particular era where thicker is better, according to most people, skinny is not really in. I understand that they're trying to go the way of with the fashion and, trying to keep up with the size 2s and all. But us out here in the regular world, everybody is generally getting bigger, interestingly enough. And she was very pretty. She held her weight well. I don't understand what the problem was, but when you start letting people get in your ear and they start telling you what should and shouldn't be, if you're not strong internally, you will give in. You will fold and find yourself doing some real strange things for other people's approval. So my prayers and concerns go out to the young lady. So MTA is getting rid of its iconic orange and yellow train cars. They got some real cool train cars and some real weird train cars. So New Yorkers, we roll with the punches, but I don't like that train car that kind of looks like the one that they were shipping the Jews in during Nazi Germany, where it's just one straight car all the way through the whole train. You can look from one end of the train to the other. Of course, the argument is that it's safer and easier to navigate for, I guess, retarded people. I don't know. But yeah, so they got the electric cars now. I mean, I like the new cars with you can damn near watch a movie in there. They've got they tell you what the next stops are, which is convenient for people who don't know where they are or where they're going. They have it's much brighter on the inside. Better ease of access. The doors seem to be a little larger, and it's a train car. It'll be olden soon enough. But shout out to the MTA on 120 years. Everybody's talking smack to them right now about the congestion pricing. They plan on using the money generated from the congestion prices to do a lot of capital increase and improvements within the transit system, including but not limited to the work they're doing out on the Far Rockaway tube hub link, whatever we're calling it, where they're doing a lot of work raising the trains up higher up off the ocean, so we won't have the same washout problem we had during Sandy. Upgrading some of the stations, the signals. It's going to take them till May of this year to finish, but just one of many projects that the MTA is in fact undertaking to explain away raising the fares and the congestion prices. They better be doing something with your money. I know that, or people are going to talk smack to them. Ultimately. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is supposed to be expected to retire in the next few months, which will force an election. Why is that important? Canada being one of our closest neighbors and most of the time allies, it is very important to know who's going to be in there and what their policies are, especially when it comes to immigration. Canada tends to have very lax immigration rules and regulations, and a lot of people who get deported from America tend to come back in through Canada. So I think they need to fix that, work it out, plug it up, whatever they got to do. Yeah, but they'll be forcing an election there in late November or October, if he should choose to resign. But it's definitely looking that way. He's been getting a lot of bad press lately. So, I mean, it's par for the usual for most Republican, can't even call him a Republican, but for most politicians. But I don't know what his specific reasons are, but I'm sure the Canadian people could think of a few for him to get the hell on out of there. Okay, so yeah, 50 men were convicted for raping the young lady over in Britain. We discussed this a couple of episodes back. So the woman's husband, her actual married to for over 20 years husband, was ultimately pimping her out without her knowledge. He was drugging her, putting her to sleep, dressing her up in hooker clothes, and then inviting niggas from the neighborhood and the surrounding areas. Then they went online with it. So he was just random people he letting in to have their way with his wife while he filmed it. Which basically, I mean, you never know who you know. And how well do you really know them? Because this was this woman's husband. So, yeah, we can definitely play that clip if you got it. Well, we do have it. So we're going to play a clip of that.
In France today, a panel of judges found dozens of men guilty of raping a woman whose then husband had drugged her unconscious over the course of a decade. Ali Rogan has more, and a warning: the following conversation is graphic in its language.
Giselle Pellicotte waived her right to a private trial in solidarity with other victims of sexual assault, whom she says go unrecognized.
By opening the doors to this trial, I wished for society to join in the debates that were held. I never regretted this decision.
For 3 months, she has had to sit through videos of her abuse in court, taken by her then husband, while dozens of men he recruited online assaulted her. A majority of these men said they didn't know it was rape, but all of them were found guilty in one way or another. The scale and brutality of Pellicotte's abuse prompted thousands to take to the streets and has sparked a nationwide conversation about consent. Catherine Porter has been covering the trial for the New York Times. Catherine, thank you so much for joining us. What does this verdict mean for the country and for Madame Pellicotte?
Well, for Madame Pellicotte, it was the verdict she was looking for. But more than the verdict, she wanted to spark a large conversation in France about rape, the prevalence of rape, how the country treats rape victims. And by that measure, she's clearly succeeded. Her trial and her decision to make it public and force the country to look rape in the face by watching these videos of her comatose body being probed and penetrated by strangers has really started a national conversation about relationships between men and women, about consent, about rape culture. These type of conversations that were much more common in North America and after Me Too, but never really cracked here in France, are now fully taking place.
You have been at the court in Avignon since the beginning. What has the scene been like?
The response to the verdict, so that her husband, or ex-husband, Dominique Pellicotte, was found guilty of the maximum 20 years in prison. The other men were all convicted, mostly of rape, but they were given sentences that were more lenient. On average, Most of them were between 6 and 9 years in prison. And 6 of them walked free today because they'd already spent enough time in prison during the trial or before the trial that they had no more prison time. That infuriated quite a few of the feminists who have been following this case and very closely in Avignon. They said to me that they felt like the message was you can get away with rape.
Why has this particular case resonated so deeply, not just within France, but really all around the world?
I think it's just an extraordinary case for so many reasons. This was a mass rape trial with 51 men, almost all of whom charged of rape, and all but one for raping the same woman. And in fact, these were people's next door neighbors. They range in age between 26 and 72. The French press were calling them Monsieur Tout le Monde, Mr. Everyman. And then there's Madame Pellicot's frankly courageous decision to cast a massive spotlight on her own intimate horror. She not only insisted that the trial be made public because she wanted to launch this conversation, but she then insisted that these videos her husband had taken, more than 20,000 of them were found by police.
So let's get into it, ladies. First of all, you never know who you know. Do you really know them? Do you really, really know them? Are you sure? Are you positive that you're sure? Because I'm sure that this lady thought she knew her husband pretty damn well. She just kept waking up with her thigh hurting, not knowing why. And he probably was gaslighting her, telling her, oh, it's just in your damn head. Meanwhile, he letting the whole neighborhood run trains on her. I mean, it sounds insane. Because it is. But the idea that he thought that he could get away with it, the idea that they put it online and were recruiting people it wasn't just like all right, it would be bad enough. Not saying it's not bad. It would be bad enough if it was the husband and a couple of friends, right? But no, that wasn't enough. He started recruiting people. And then he's like in the supermarket. I'm like, are you in the supermarket? Like, would you like to fuck my wife? It's like, in what world does this work? This one, apparently, but hypothetical questions, when I first heard about it, I was like, there's no way that that's a thing. And then you find out that it's definitely a thing. And not only is it a thing, but there's videotapes. And what's with the videotapes? We're not satisfied with just the fuckery and debauchery. We have to that's okay, so IAXIS wants to know, says she's not conscious. How could they not know it was a crime? Well, okay, so I followed the trial a little bit. Well, a lot, actually. I was mildly obsessed with it for a little while, actually. Anyway, but the husband basically was telling them that she likes it, that, she's into it, that she's just pretending to be asleep. It was many different excuses given over the course of the trial where they explained how the husband, got the people. And then after the first time, some people thought that she was a prostitute. Ultimately, though, I feel it was just a generalized lack of respect for humankind. That's what it was. Because there's no way. First of all, I feel like to engage in any kind of intimacy with an unconscious person, male or female, with an inebriated or discombobulated or otherwise out of their normal regular self person, should be a crime punishable by the maximumist thing, whatever they got out there. Shock your nuts with a cattle prod. I don't care. Something. Because why? Why and how? And then what's the difference between that and like a corpse? Because that's the thought process for me. Because how do you manage to not only become aroused, but maintain said arousal when there's no cooperation, there's no give or take, there's nothing. It's just a body there, which, I don't want to say that men will stick it in anything, but this kind of is leaning in anything direction. Into anything, just anything, long as it's relatively warm, I'm assuming. And I don't know. I think they should be publicly flogged. I don't think they should just go to jail, because I don't see where the punishment is going to be enough. I don't feel like you taking time out of your life is enough. The lady is traumatized. The women in the world are traumatized. Anybody having to hear this damn story is now traumatized. I apologize to you guys for that. And for the ones who got time served, well, that's only because they were in jail since they got arrested, throughout the whole process, through the trial. And now that the trial is over and they say how much time they're supposed to get, they've been in jail that long already. So that's the only reason why they're able to get out. It's not like they're letting them out because they didn't do anything wrong or because they were innocent, or it's just that technically it was more than, like, say a person got 6 years. So it was more than 6 years from the time that they got arrested to the time that the conclusion of the trial. So they have to count that time, ultimately. Otherwise, they'd still be in there. And I don't think, if you are guilty of a certain amount of heinousness, that you should get out of jail. I think they should just find an island for y'all, like they used to do with Australia and a couple other places where they had as penal colonies, where they just drop your ass off and is not getting off of this island under any circumstances. This is where you live now. I think we should bring that back. There's a few barely inhabitable islands that we can stick people on, okay? Because they're not fit to be in society anymore, I feel. You don't understand basic common stuff like you're not fit to be around people, ultimately. Good evening to you, Ebby Justice. Good to see ya. Happy to have you guys online. Don't mean to terrorize or traumatize or stress anybody out, but the most craziest shit is going on in the world, and I just feel like I would be remiss if I didn't let you guys know about it. This I've been following for a few months, and it just was like, he did what to his wife? Like his actual wife, not a hooker or I don't know. It just speaks so much to what people feel about women. It's deep and horrible all at the same time. Okay, so on to the next one. So there were 10 people shot outside a club in Missouri for freaking New Year's this year. And why? Like, can't we just have peace in our life? I don't go to clubs no more, mind you. If it's not work related, like I'm covering an artist or a specific event, I don't go to clubs anymore. I have no reason to. I'm not trying to meet nobody. That's not where I'd rather meet somebody in the supermarket than in the damn club, okay? And then why? Like, they don't even party the same way. When we used to party, it was about enjoying ourselves and the dance and the time and the memories and such. They just want to sit around and play games on their phone and smoke hookahs and sit in VIP sections. That seems to be a party for the younger folks. They don't do much dancing. They don't do much communicating within the little, amongst the little different groups. They group up into their little sections, and they might snap a lot of selfies and Instagram photos, but not a whole lot of fun from what I noticed anyway. So I want to dance when I go out. That's why I go out. to enjoy myself. Get my two-step on. I be having my drink and my two-step. Okay, now what's in the drink is irrelevant, nosy people. It's usually non-alcoholic, since you want to know. But I be having a drink anyway. And my two-step does not need no lubrication, okay? It's a two-step to be remembered. That's all I'm saying. So anywho's craziness. Then we got dozens injured down in New Orleans, where a guy basically plowed through the freaking crowd and then hops out his truck, whips out a gun, starts shooting at people, and I think he set somebody on fire. I mean, what now? And then the guy has an ISIS sticker on the van, and yet they was like hesitant to call it a terrorist situation. They hesitant to call a lot of this sabotage and basically sabotaging of certain infrastructure, blowing up of bridges and disruption of transportation, blowing up fertilizer plants, burning down farms, killing off thousands of animals, and nobody is connecting it to any form of terrorism, but it is definitely domestic terrorism that we're looking at. And until the police department, Homeland Security, whoever needs to be paying better attention, starts paying better attention, it's going to keep going on. Because they're so scared of scaring us that they want to squash it. They want to suppress the information. They want to act like it doesn't exist. And yet it does. It exists very much. Goddamn, it exists very much. And the safety of the regular, average Joe and Jane Q public is at risk. So I ask that you guys be careful when you go out there and you're out in the world. If you see something, make a note of that shit. I don't know who you're going to say something to if you're going to say something, but definitely make a note of it. And if you see something over there, go that way. Shit, don't go over there. Trains is all out of whack this week. I don't know. We had a fire. We had someone set on fire last week on the train. Okay, so please be safe out there. We had another person pushed in front of a train. We had a couple of attempts, where people attempted to push people in front of the train. Just crazy. So all I can ask is that you be careful, be extra aware of your surroundings, stay away from the edge of the platform, whether the train's coming in or not. Stand towards the middle if you can. Then after the train has passed you, then walk to the edge of the platform. Be mindful of the damn gap and stay alert and aware on the train as you're riding. Also known as stay safe out there, New Yorkers, please. We got polar vortexes, lake effect winds, and wild weather expected for the next week. So bundle up out there. I got me a new coat. I'm really happy about it. So I had one of those Canada Goose ones. They really make that coat too well. I'm not trying to do any kind of commercials because, I mean, it's too hot. My coat is hot. Like, I'm sweating in my coat in the wintertime, which is recipe for pneumonia. So I got another one that's not as hot. And I like it very much. We're not going to talk about what kind of coat it is. It's irrelevant. It's just warm. And it's warm to minus 12 degrees, which I can appreciate. Do I intend on being outside at minus 12 degrees? Hell no. But I want to be warm just in case, you know? Okay, so at this time, we're going to take another break and play a couple more videos for you. And then we'll be back with some more of me running my damn mouth.
You said you don't know, you don't need a lie. Get your girl, she be on me all the time. I pull up to the scene and I make it come alive. They better force my team, we ain't gonna let it slide. My finesse doesn't come as a surprise. Who am I, who am I, who am I? I'm that dude that is gonna raise the bar, yeah. I'm the one that they saying is a star, yeah. They don't even know me, but they say I'm going far, yeah. They say I'm fire, but they only seen a spark, yeah. Tryna blind me, I'm still seeing in the dark. You a hater, you can't help but play a part. And if you try to break me, you won't ever leave a mark. I guess they figured out that I was dangerous from the start. You better get your girl, I ain't mean to steal her heart. I make it look easy, but for you it's probably hard. Do you know who I am? Now you see me dolo like I'm on the gill again. And now you see me when I got a couple people that now wanna make amends. They was waiting for my end. Now they wanna be my friends, but I ain't got no homie. Catch me grinding with my fam, or I'm going by my lonely. You don't know me. Who am I? 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 You said you don't know, you don't need a lie. Get your girl, she be on me all the time. I pull up to the scene and I make it come alive. They try to cross my team, we ain't gonna let it slide. My finesse doesn't come as a surprise. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? I need my space, you need to back it up. Don't you try to play me, you don't wanna see me acting up, no. And if you lazy, better pack it up. Don't need no freeloaders on our wagon when we stacking up, no. Man, I'm just trying to be the man. When I make these bands, I wanna see the screaming fans while I'm in the van. And when you see me in the end, do it for the fam. That's who I am, man, I got a plan. I'm trying to be successful over and over again. I'm trying to make it to the point where the cycle don't end. Move so swiftly, ain't no telling what I might do again. Watch these haters, ain't no telling what they might do to win. But I ain't worried, cause I'm watching. And in my life there ain't no stopping. So you better get out of my way. I'm done talking, I ain't got nothing to say. Who am I? 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 You said you don't know, you don't need a lie. Get your girl, she be on me all the time. I pull up to the scene and I make it come alive. They try to cross my team, we ain't gonna let it slide. My finesse doesn't come as a surprise. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I?
Weird, y'all. I text somebody to come out to my show. This is what the fuck they say to me.
Nah.
Why would
Nah,
you even?
I don't
This
like
is
that.
yeah, like this is exactly why I hate giving my energy to the wrong people. Like we need somewhere to just make our energy go.
Nah, we're
So y'all ready to go?
yeah, yeah.
Let's just go.
Really don't mean a thing. I can make the change. If it ain't part of my plan, then I'm shifting the move. No consequence. Really gonna press that pedal. If it ain't part of my plan, then I'm shifting the move. Oh, it's easy to cut through a path straight to a lane that feeds me. Oh, it's easy. So you better believe them when they say they ain't see me. It's all in the way that the public perceive me. Oh, yes, I got handles, but can they handle it? Shifting my direction. They do anything for a mention. Policy, but it for my protection. I got control, yeah. Whenever the goal done. Gon' see how the cookie crumble, cause you know it don't. Really don't mean a thing. I can make the change. If it ain't part of my plan, then I'm shifting the move. No consequence. Really gonna press that pedal. If it ain't part of my plan, then I'm shifting the move. Shifting, 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 shifting the move. Shifting, 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 shifting the move.
Ain't no fun in starting over. I give in chance and chance, feel like my dog is running over. People say it's a bad romance, let's keep on dancing for the moment. You be the type to distract my plans, put me in a trance and leave me open. Lose my track of staying focused. Your pheromones got me hypnotized, I can't describe. The thing you say you make me fall in line. I start on you, you break my pride. I built it up and now it's in disguise. Oh, use a drug, you keep me running back to back. Need your touch, cause we can't have enough for that. They say they know you and I cannot hide, cause we too attached. Ain't no denying that. Swear your love is so tricky, 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 tricky. I cannot trade my phone for someone so iffy. It made no sense at all because you're so wishy-washy, wishy-washy. I'd rather walk and crawl below you're so sticky, 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 sticky. Stuck with you. We should've took the time to cut off our meter minds. But when we were entwined, it's like our souls come alive. So sweet, like the nectar from the gods tonight. Came to realize that life is order and divine. Why? I can't accept it's over. I thought we getting closer. So now I learn to cope. But first I need closure. Closure from you. So long to you. So long to you. My sweet. I could not dream of falling for someone so iffy. It made no sense at all because you're so wishy-washy, wishy-washy. I'd rather walk and crawl below you're so sticky, 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 sticky. Stuck with you.
So shout out to the Logo is the brand, my boy Dio, Cookland Cannabis Company, Lola Shae Botanicals, East New York Oasis Community Garden. I want to give a big shout out to Andre Dr. Dre Brown. A very, very big supporter of the show. I'm working on getting him up here one of these days. We just got to have some stuff to talk about. He just can't come up here and sit around and look at me in the face, all right? He got to have something that we actually talking about. So I'm working on that for you guys. Very, very, very knowledgeable, very intelligent, very cool dude. And I always love working with him on whatever projects I can get. So me and him got some projects we're coming up with soon. Looking forward to that. Can't talk about it until it's actually, in the can, but looking good. Said, hey, Tara, vocals by Jamel Jones. It says, I meant that New Year's spell correct. Oh no, go back. It must have been another one. Happy blessed New York. Well, that's good. New York needs a blessing too. New York needs all the blessings. Sprinkle out the blessings, Janelle, please. New York needs them, all right? Especially with the year we're going into. All right, last year was insane. Last year was we were revealing secrets. This year, the black women said to hell with everybody. We're going to sit this out. We're sitting out this 4 years, according to the black women, based on how they felt they was during this Trump situation. They don't feel like they was being listened to. So they said, you know what? Bye. We're not listening. We're going on a 4 years vacation, so don't ask black women nothing. All right, that's the going consensus with that. Then, New York needs all the blessings it could possibly get. And the east side, the west side, uptown, downtown, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, Manhattan, Long Island, Staten Island, everybody. Upstate they don't never get no love. They definitely need some blessings. Okay, so yes, there's no typos today, Janelle. No typos today. It came out exactly how it was supposed to. So blessings and a happy blessed New Year and a happy blessed New York too, for that matter. So thank you very much for that. So one of my callers, let me see, what is it? Annette Bell wants to say that the subway violence is a hindrance to them returning to work. So they're trying to activate or initiate a massive return to work because a lot of our office spaces in Manhattan specifically are still empty. Most people are remote working from home. A lot of them have even left the state and even the country because now they can remote work from home. So there's not a lot of incentive for them to come back. And then when you add that to the fact that, you add the congestion price into that, and then you add the craziness on the subway, a lot of people is not really trying to go back through all of that. And it's like, you know what? No, thank you. So, that's being said. So shout out to Annette Bell. We got, Mexico is creating its own Panama Canal. Interesting. They say, you know what? So the idea is that the Panama Canal was was used to connect one side to the other side without having to go all the way around the bottom. Same thing with the Suez Canal, except the Suez Canal was cut out the middle of the damn desert, and it was created so long ago that it's not really functional for the kind of traffic that goes through there today. So basically one boat at a time can go through, and then the rest of them have to sit out there and wait until that one gets all the way through or halfway through before it's able to go, because there's no turning around, there's no two lanes, there's just one little narrow. So, the Panama Canal is a little better, but improvements can always be done. So in ease of access and better trade routes and whatever. So they're down there gonna cut from one side across. I guess that would be from the Gulf of Mexico to the other side. I don't know what the fuck they call that, under California and all of that. So yeah, gonna be doing some work in Mexico. I think they are doing wonderful things down in Mexico. They don't really want to talk about it because it tends to be funded by the cartels, and they want to, frown on that and say, drugs are bad. But drugs basically are financing all the infrastructure down there. And quality of life is getting to the point where it's almost better than it is here in America, which is why they are deporting major amounts of Americans from Mexico. I'm going to find that article for you guys next week if I can. Congestion prices went into effect on the 5th, 2 days yesterday. And so now it will cost you $9 to enter the city anywhere. Because people's like, if you come in anywhere lower than 60th Street, you're going to have to pay. Okay? So, is that like 59th Street? Or exactly 60th Street? Because that's important. Because the 59th Street Bridge is free. Until they change their mind on that. But it's free. So you should be able to get in at 59th Street free, no congestion pricing, and then come back down. Ideally, that's what they want you to do. They want you to take the train. They want you to carpool if possible. They want, mass transportation, not a bunch of people piled up on the roadways like it is now. It is very congested in New York, but I didn't see when they did the congestion pricing the last go around that it really did much help, because it was still extremely congested in Manhattan. And that's with a reduced workforce, because like I said before, a lot of people are working from home. So, I don't know. Now, what's crazy is the first casualty of congestion pricing. Well, there actually may be a very many casualties of congestion pricing, but the first and most interesting because it's casualties that might have further casualties, and that is that the EMS companies, the ambulances and FDNY ambulances, they don't have an exemption to the $9 fare. So their unions have informed them that they should start transferring out of Manhattan and Lower Manhattan sites to the other areas, which means if you live in Manhattan, Lower Manhattan sites within the congestion pricing area, it's going to be harder for you to get an ambulance. It's going to be harder for you to get medical attention in an emergency because they don't want to pay for it for them. And it's too high of an expense for them to continue to cover on their own. It's eating too much into the profits. And the problem, like I always have with business, is that profits come before and ahead of every freaking thing else. Okay? So they don't really care about whether you die or not. It's a matter of whether they make money or not, whether their shareholders are happy. Until the shareholders start caring, which they're not gonna, because they want that dividends check every so often. But until they start caring and making it a point to care about certain things, it's not gonna happen, because profit is the driving force and not a better quality of life, not joy, not to do nice things, none of those things. So it is what it is. The question that I have for you guys today, and I'm going to start asking questions that I do want to answer to, I want to see what you guys are thinking, is do you think certain businesses should be exempt from the congestion pricing? Or, do you agree with them that they should just pay like they weigh? Specifically when it comes to businesses that affect quality of life. So fire department, EMS, EMTs, ambulances, some other people, paratransits, all kinds of people are not exempted from the fines. So I want to know if y'all think that's a good idea. And last but certainly not least, we got New Jersey suing to stop the congestion pricing. You'd be surprised to find out how many people in New Jersey actually work in Manhattan, and they are not feeling too kindly to the congestion pricing, which is basically just an extra added fee for them to be paying every day, twice a day. And so they're suing. Now, whether it's not going to stop anything, but I'm assuming if they win, there'll be some changes made. But I guess New Yorkers feel the same way about the New Jersey Turnpike. So, like, you're gonna take it off and take the charge off of the New Jersey Turnpike, so it's free. No, I don't think they are. I don't think they are. See, it says so all businesses have to pay a fine. No, but basically, so if your business has you going back and forth in and out of the city, and you're coming in, like say your business is located out of the area, so above 60th or downtown Brooklyn or something like that, and then you have to go into Manhattan to service your customers, which might be anywhere from 60th to South Street Seaport, they have to pay, just like we have to pay. But they don't make money like that. So I don't know how they're supposed to pay. And I don't understand why a business such as the EMS, EMTs, specifically the ambulances, why those kinds of businesses wouldn't be exempt, because those are quality of life businesses. Right, exactly. Do you agree? Again, the question is, do you agree that businesses, specifically quality of life businesses, should be exempt from the congestion pricing phenomenon we got going on? It was stopped the first time because a lot of people complained and said that it was just too much of a burden, a hardship on them They did lower it a little bit. I think it was $15 before, and it's $9 now. But still, every day, twice a day, 5 days out the week, 7 for some people, is a lot. It adds up to be a lot of money at the end of the year. And just like when they brought in the Easy Pass, they said that it was going to be a blessing. Like they say everything when they first bring it in, it's supposed to be, oh, it's going to be wonderful. Says Tara says, I feel quality of life businesses should not have to. I agree with you. Exactly, because that doesn't make sense. It's kind of counterproductive. You need ambulances, fire department. MTA is exempt, of course. Should no surprise there. As you have the buses going back and forth constantly all day, multiple times a day. It would be very expensive for the city to pay the city. So that's why they're exempt. But a lot of the other businesses support the city as well. So I don't think that should be a burden or a hindrance to them to do their jobs. I mean, I do look at and take into consideration the income that's produced, except I don't usually tend to see where the income that's usually produced is going. So I can't say I see where the income that's produced through the congestion pricing will be going. I know where they say it'll go, but I also know that they like to hyperinflate how much things cost to explain away their wastefulness. So, so once again, that was my show for today. I do have a couple more videos, but I'm not ready for that yet. I want to talk about Travis Hunter real quick before we get out of here, since he seems to be captivating a lot of people's attention. So Travis Hunter just signed a multi-million-dollar contract, like a multi-million-dollar contract. And the big argument isn't the talent, it isn't how wonderful he's going to do, how much work he's going to get, how many championships. It's the insanity surrounding his significant other, which you never want to be the significant other that takes the shine away from the significant other. I mean, you can have your own shine, of course, but you don't want to take the shine away from your significant other. I think that's terrible. But, so, I feel like everybody has something to say. Opinions are like assholes. And my particular opinion is leave that man alone. Sure. You made dumb decisions. You had rotten relationships. You picked the wrong girl. You might have been that girl. Leave that man alone. Everybody learns in their own time period at their own pace. This man is basically, to me, a child. I got like 20 some odd years on him, so he's got a lot of learning to do. And some people learn the hard way. They don't learn from you telling them. They learn from experience. And some people have to experience what that type of behavior leads to, and how that's not a good thing for anybody involved. And the other thing being that some people like stuff like that. They like to be talked too crazy and bossed around and stuff. Some people, they specifically seek out individuals that will do that for them. Not to them, for them. So maybe that's his thing. Maybe, I mean, you can't judge other people's situations. Worry about your own damn situation, okay? All right. Please, thank you. So before we cut out, I got a couple of last videos to put up there, and then I'm going to say goodnight. Well, I'm going to say goodnight now. I want to say thank you guys for tuning in to the Lola Shae Show podcast right here on IAXISRADIO.com. And we are, of course, once again, available on all your streaming platforms. Shout out to my Twitch people, my Facebook Live, my Instagram Live, my 360 Lives, my, so many. Everywhere. We over on LinkedIn. Check us out under IAXISRADIO.com. So it was good to see you too, Jamel. Good to see you and see you next week. Absolutely. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being so active in the chat. I want to show my appreciation and love to all the people who tune in and make this show what it is. I appreciate you guys. I want to shout out to the people that submit their videos, the people who give me permission to submit their videos. We accept more videos. I would just make sure that they're clean, because I don't want to get no stripes. Make sure you got your samples cleared. You have permission to use whatever music you're using. Yeah, it's not just throwing some sounds together and throwing some visuals and thinking that's it. You have to do your research and your homework to make sure you're not going to cause yourself problems later. This is a business and people are serious about their money. So to keep those problems from happening, just make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's. Or cross your I's and dot your T's. I don't know how you feeling today. But, yeah, so that's it for today. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week.
It's gonna be the day. Thoughts start speeding, anxiety kicks in. Just start getting tired, my pupils dilating. No people in today, staying in the crib is so fun. I tell myself breathe, I tell myself breathe, I tell myself breathe. I tell myself breathe, I tell myself breathe, I tell myself breathe. Everybody got their own story, inviting you into my diary. Turning the pages, crying for days. Don't judge a book by the cover, you'll be so amazed. I'm worth saving. I'm worth it, yeah. I'm worth it, yeah. I'm worth it. You're worth saving. You're worth it, yeah. You're worth it. Many times I wanted to drift away and say goodbye to yesterday. When my brain's the pain, panic insane, thoughts still racing, hit the emergency brake. When listen to me, F that OCD. Why is this happening? I think I need a good ride. I tell myself breathe, I tell myself breathe, I tell myself breathe, I tell myself breathe, I tell myself breathe. Everybody got their own story, inviting you into my diary. You'll be turning the pages, crying for days. Don't judge a book by the cover, you'll be so amazed, amazing. I'm worth saving. I'm worth it. I'm worth it. I'm worth it. I'm worth it. You're worth saving. Ooh. I tell myself breathe. 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 I tell myself breathe.
It's sad to think we're not gonna make it. And it's gotten to the point where we just can't think it. For some ungodly reason, just won't let it die. No, I guess neither one of us wants to be the first to say goodbye. Oh, I keep wondering what I'm gonna do without you. And I guess you must be wondering the same thing too. Ooh. So we go on together, living a lie. 'Cause neither one of us wanna be the first to say goodbye. Every time I find the nerve, every time I find the nerve to say I'm leaving. Oh, the memories, those old memories, they get in my way. Oh, Lord knows it's only me. Oh, He knows it's only me that I'm deceiving. Ooh. When it comes to saying goodbye, that's a simple word that I just cannot say. There's no possible way this can have a happy ending. I don't see it, baby. No. So we just go on hurting and pretending, and convincing ourselves to give it just one more try. Because neither one of us wants to be the first to say. Neither one of us wants to be the first to say. Oh, neither one of us wants to be the first to say farewell, my love, goodbye.
Thanks for watching.